Hey guys, Sublord here, back in with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the DC Multiverse Aquaman in the Lost Kingdom. Jason Momoa, aka Aquaman, aka Arthur Curry himself. This of course brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys, and of the Jason Momoa figures I own, which, surprisingly enough, despite the fact that I don't do a lot of movie figures anymore, with the exception of the select few MCU figures I pick up from time to time. Does Carnage from Max Carnage count as MCU? I don't know. But at any rate, with the exception of that, I don't buy a lot of movie figures, so it's surprising that I do have a lot of Jason Momoa Aquaman figures. I got the two from the Mattel Justice League wave. I got the one from the standalone Aquaman movie they did right before they lost the license. And then I got the McFarlane ones from both the Justice League Snyder Cut and now this one. I don't have the stealth suit. I don't really feel the need to buy that one, but comes with different stuff, maybe. But speaking of stuff, why don't we cut right to the chase, get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all Arthur Curry has to offer in terms of accessories. Starting off with a pair of open hands. These are, of course, like swimming hands. It would have been nice to have another grip hand so he could hold his trident with two hands, which is gummy, but it's not that bad. It doesn't feel like it's going to warp. Then again, it's not 90 to 100 degrees in here right now because it is the middle of winter. But that's all you get. You do get a collectible trading card. I put that crap in storage. I'm like low-key getting sick of those. It of course comes with the hockey puck display stand we're using with all McFarlane Toys releases. And now we got the figure. Which is kind of yoked. I'm not going to lie. This guy's got decent proportions for a modern action figure release. He does have these very soft shoulder pads going on, which do kind of get in the way of the arms, and this one is kind of warped upward because I've had him posed for a while for the URL. You know how it is. But not a bad likeness to Jason Momoa. The hair could probably be a lot softer, but it is soft-ish. It does low-key get out of the way, so there is that. But as far as his articulation goes, his head will rotate, it'll tilt, it'll go up and down, all that good stuff. His shoulders will go out about this far, go back down. You can probably rotate them all the way around, truth be told. These are very soft pauldron pieces, and you can really just like flip that up and just go, woo! But I probably wouldn't advise doing that just because you warp it. You might have to heat it and get it back to where it was. He does have that beautiful butterfly cap thingy in there, as well as a bicep swivel, double elbow, which is not the most attractive looking thing, but it does work. He does have ball hinge wrists, which the grip hand on him is a little less tight than I would like. But once you figure out where that hinge is, it works just fine. Then his torso can actually lean forward a little bit, which is nice. You can lean back a little bit. You can rotate. You can finagle the joint so it's not loose. Like I do all the time, constantly. He's got the ball waist. That actually gets pretty decent range back and forth as well. Probably one of the better waists in this line. His hips kick out. Be mindful of these side pieces. Can't kick forward and back. He does have a thigh cut. It is actually worth a crap on both sides, surprisingly. He's got a double jointed knee. Again, not the most attractive thing, but not the worst we've seen from this line. And he does have a ball hinge ankle that will rotate, hinge, pivot, and then he's got a toe hinge. Which should work. There you go. But there you go. That is Aquaman in a nutshell. A little tricky to stand too, truth be told. I usually don't complain about trying to stand these figures because I'm able to figure it out, but this guy was a little bit trickier to figure out than some. But you know, you give him his trident here, make it so it actually doesn't touch the ground, so you can stand. Or if it does touch the ground, it acts like a tripod, like that, so it helps him stand. You're good to go. And that is Aquaman from Lost Kingdom in a nutshell. Yeah, the grip hand's a little loose. I should have tightened that up. But it does make it easy to swap with the open hands, which of course are tighter than the grip hand. Go figure. But is it just me, or does he have like straight up... No, he doesn't have knuckle dusters. He's just got little armor plates on his hands. I thought he had knuckle dusters. This is the death metal version of Aquaman. He's going to throw down the put. But with that being said, it's now time that we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here's good old Jason Momoa, a.k.a. Aquaman, a.k.a. Arthur Curry, alongside a couple other figures from this Aquaman in the Lost Kingdom wave. We have the Black Man Tatas and King Kordax, both of which are villains, I believe, and both of which we will be taking a look-see at here on the channel over the course of the next couple of days, so stay tuned for that. That said, I think the scaling's fine between these three. King Kordax seems kind of large, though. I'm curious if he's that imposing in the movie or not. I don't know him from the comics, so I don't know much about him. So, getting these two out of the way. So we can bring in our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibilith. Right there. And the infamous 11 Spawn. Right there. Who is about neck and neck. Good old Aquaman here, which makes sense. He is an Atlantean. They should be taller than your average human, boo-boo. So, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and out of all the Jason Momoa Aquaman figures I have in my collection, this is probably the best one? Question mark. I don't know, I still think the one from the Justice League Snyder Cut wave slash series slash whatever was pretty decent, but this one probably has better likeness since it came out a little bit later compared to that one, and the articulation, I think anyways, works a little better, particularly in the torso and even the head in some aspects. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.